I have long made the point that if anyone else, and a lot of people obviously talk about this, it's not an original point, but if anyone else, any other president gave some of the answers that Trump gives, we would be very concerned, cognitively or even just intellectually. I'm fine keeping the whole cognitive question off the table if you want, because I know that upsets people with
not cognitively
the whole Biden situation. But I think we should discuss both, and Trump's the president. But I can even take that off the table and say, all right, well then intellectually, linguistically, this is scurry. This is scurry what we get from him. Public Notice had a piece titled An Embarrassing Exercise in Economic and Diplomatic Futility. I'll show you the clip of this answer he gave on the whole tariff letter thing. He's still every day sending out a bunch of these letters. It goes to the context of how they had previously hyped up maybe 90 trade deals in 90 days, and that they were going to restructure global trade, and that's why you need temporary pain. Just trust Trump. Prices might go up, but it's going to ultimately lead to a bunch of deals with a bunch of different countries that benefit us, and then tariffs can go down, was the argument from some of them. Then it led to essentially no deals and just him sending letters to countries saying, this is the rate we're tariffing you at. And so then we're still stuck with the higher prices, so we didn't get a win out of it. And when asked what happened to 90 trade deals in 90 days, so that you can try to conceptualize this, because when you hear Trump say it, you'll think it's more reasonable. Somehow, we translate him. But let me read it to you in normal English and just try to conceptualize. So what happened to 90 deals in 90 days? Oh, we've spoken to everybody. We know it's all done. I told you we'll make some deals, but for the most part, we're going to send a letter. We're going to say, welcome to the United States. If you'd like to participate in the greatest, most successful country ever. I mean, we're doing better than ever. We have, I don't think, and you're going to see these numbers soon. We've never had numbers like this. We've never had investment like this. We have more than 90. We're going to have much more than 90, but most of those are going to be sent a letter. This is exactly what I said. Now, we've made a deal with the United Kingdom. We've made a deal with China. We made a deal. We're closing to make a deal with India. Others we've met with, and we don't think we're going to be able to make a deal, so we just send them a letter. Do you want to play ball? This is what you have to pay. So as far as I'm concerned, we're done. We're sending out letters to various countries telling them how much tariffs they have to pay. Some will maybe adjust a little bit depending if they have a, cause. We're not going to be unfair about it. And actually, it's a small fraction compared to what we should be getting. We could be asking for much more, but for the sake of relationships that we've had with a lot of really good countries, we're doing the way I do it, but we could be getting a lot more. We could ask them for a lot more than what we're asking for. So what happened in 90 days? Here's the answers that he's trying to give. We have accomplished that goal. While you are trying to mischaracterize our statements, a deal is a deal. A letter outlining the deal they're forced to accept is exactly the fulfillment of the promise that I made. We are setting boundaries with our trading partners through strong trade barriers to protect the American worker. You're fake news. Which is not, of course, what's happening, but I guess that's what he was trying to go with. Let's listen.
Tariffs. What happened to 90 trade deals in 90 days?
We've spoken to everybody. We know everything. It's all done. I told you, we'll make some deals, but for the most part, we're going to send a letter. We're going to say, welcome to the United States. If you'd like to participate in the greatest, most successful country ever. I mean, we're doing better than ever. We have, I don't think, and you're going to see these numbers soon. We've never had numbers like this. We've never had investment like this. We have more than 90. We're going to have much more than 90, but most of those are going to be sent a letter. This is exactly what I said. Now, we've made a deal with United Kingdom. We've made a deal with China. We've made a deal. We're close to making a deal with India. Others we met with, and we don't think we're going to be able to make a deal, so we just send them a letter. If you want to play ball, you have to. This is what you have to pay. So as far as I'm concerned, we're done. We're sending out letters to various countries telling them how much tariffs they have to pay. Some will maybe adjust a little bit depending if they have a cause. We're not going to be unfair about it. And actually, it's a small fraction compared to what we should be getting. We could be asking for much more, but for the sake of relationships that we've had with a lot of really good countries, we're doing the way I do it. But we could be getting a lot more. We could ask for a lot more than.
So, again, I know you're thinking, that's just normal. That's boilerplate. he's saying that he's literally misstating what it is that he's doing. This has nothing to do with asking for money from other countries at all. Zero. This only has to do with US companies being taxed more. Other countries don't like that because if you make US companies pay more to import from those countries, then they might be less incentivized to import from those countries. But that's not having those countries paying you anything. And you go, yeah, we've addressed that, but that's just what he says. But we shouldn't accept that. Why would we accept that? If every day Biden came out and said the exact opposite of what a policy is and seemed not to understand what a tariff was, do you think that the right would just let it go? No, I think we should treat it every time like what it is, which is he doesn't understand his own landmark agenda. In introduction for that clip, Public Notice said, when asked earlier this week about the much ballyhooed 90 deals in 90 days promised, Trump's response was a mental collapse that should have triggered the 25th Amendment. Trying to paraphrase Trump's gibberish is its own form of sane washing, so it's important to read this in full. These are the words of the man holding the levers of our global economy. It should be reasonable to expect that he can explain his policies to us. That's not what you get with that. I think someone confused about, wait, what did happen to the deals? Here's that blob of words and he goes, I don't know. I heard something about letters. I heard that we have more than 90 deals, and that's a lie. It's not a deal. You can, in no, find me any definition of the word deal, and it's not you send a letter saying, hey, I'm announcing that we're tariffing you. There's no deal there. You're just tariffing. You don't have to get their agreement to tariff. You just do it, and then we have to pay more. And this does have an impact. New York Times reports American allies want to redraw the world's trade map minus the United States. Trade chaos is forcing America's allies closer together and further from the United States. As that happens, the European Union is trying to position itself at the center of a new global trade map. So it's not good for us. We benefited, as I've said, so much from being at the center of global trade as opposed to being alienated from it. And then he just lies in clips like this.
You are doing a good job, Larry. Am I right when I say I really don't want deals? I just want the paper to get sent? Right? It's true. I don't know.
Click the subscribe button. Are you kidding me? How many times have we heard deals, 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 deals? He's the great deal maker. He's the great deal maker. If you make it here, he's the great deal maker. He's the great deal maker.
But if you make it here.
Yeah. And now he's going, wait, Howard, I don't want deals, right? We never wanted deals. We just wanted to send a letter announcing tariffs, which we could have done the first day we started this whole rigmarole. But this is interesting.
She'd go up and she could get it up. And this guy comes along. Have you lifted before? Yes, at a low level. He was a low-level lifter as a man, but transitioned. And he goes up to that thing. Bing, 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 bing. Could have done it all day long. Broke the record by 119 pounds.
Almost certainly not true, but can we please on the soundboard get
that thing? Bing, 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 bing.
Bing, 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 bing. Mommy, I want my mommy. Boom. To reenact one of his other doozies there. Share your thoughts in the comments.